Pantazi. I just got off a great conversation with Clive Jevons of Germany and Gary Rooks of Cincinnati, Ohio area. Max Masslinger couldn't be in the conversation with us. It was about the upcoming November IKC, or International Kyusho Convention, where all the instructors from around the world in Kyusho come together and work out and train and show what they've been working on for the past year. And we all get to share information and see each other jump in skill levels. So it's amazing, as Gary was saying during this conversation, which we'll post at a later date, that one of the things he enjoys about going to the IKC is seeing people gain skill levels, getting from a one level to the next level, and each year how they're progressing and going and growing and getting new ideas and working it into Aikido, Filipino martial arts, Tai Chi, Shotokan, all different martial arts styles. We're truly a mixed martial venue where we have all the stylists come together with the one main component, and that being Kyusho, and learning from each other, because an Aikido person will use an action that you can find in a karate form, karate kata. You can see it in a Tai Chi kata or Tai Chi form. You can see it in all these different aspects. And it's great because when you see a different style, they move differently. And when you see them move differently and you relate it to your own particular style, many new ideas come flooding into your head. And that's what it's all about. It's a learning experience, a truly learning experience. There must be like 30 classes going on over the weekend. We have a couple different sections where instructors will be teaching in these two sections. You pick a section that you want. Say you want to go to an Aikido, Kyusho Aikido event. You go and see that instructor. If you want to learn more about Kyusho and the Filipino martial arts, you see the other instructor. And they flip every hour. So you're getting information from all these great martial artists from around the world, different countries, different continents, all coming together to share their findings. And that's how we really learn. You can only do so much research on your own, and you have to really get your hands on as many people as you can of different styles, not just your own style. We all get too comfortable working with people that we know how they move, we trust them. But when you get into an environment where you're meeting someone new, not that you don't trust them, but you don't know them, so you're a little apprehensive. But isn't that what a fight is? Okay, it's that unknown. But working through that, working through the different body maneuvers, like a Shotokan stylist with a Tai Chi player, it's just two diametrically opposed body movements that are enacted, and how they work together to get that common goal. It's an amazing thing, folks. So again, I'm going to put the link below to the convention. It's in Salzburg, Austria this year. A beautiful city. If you haven't been there, maybe take a couple extra days to see the city. It's quaint. It's got the cobblestones, Mozart's old town. There's so much history there, and it's so beautiful with the river running right in front of the old town and separating the old town from the new town. Really a great place to go. Food's amazing. People are great. So I hope to see you in November. I'll put the links below so you can check out all the information, all the instructors that are going to be there, the hotels, the trains, the venue, and what's going to be taught with the Kyusho. Hope to see you there. Take care.
And we are live. Hi, I'm Clive from Kyusho International, and it is my great pleasure to be here today with Evan Pantazi and Gary Rooks, the founders of Kyusho International. And welcome, gentlemen.
Oh, thanks for having us.
Thank you.
So the first thing that anyone who's remotely involved in Kyusho International knows the two of you, of course. But for those people watching who maybe haven't seen you before or haven't looked up anything about you too much, I'd like to ask you both to just briefly introduce yourselves and how you got into martial arts and Kyusho in particular. So if we could start with you, please, Evan.
Okay, well, I got into martial arts for self-protection. saw an incident in front of my house, and it wasn't a pleasant one, so I decided to get in the arts. And I turned professional early on, so I got about 40 plus years as a professional, and I keep going. And I will be honest, I would have burned out in the martial arts had it not been for the Kyusho. It's kept the fascination going for me, and it's really deepened my understanding of the martial arts. It took me on an incredible journey meeting people like yourself and Gary.
Cool. Gary?
Well, I got involved in martial arts when I was really young as a teenager, and I was always very fascinated with martial arts and just kept doing it. Kind of like Evan said, I probably would have got out of the martial arts down the road if it wasn't for the Kyusho. That kind of sparked the interest for me when it came to doing the martial arts. And almost 40 years later, we're still here and got to travel the world and see all you guys and hang out with Evan, and it's been a wonderful trip.
Excellent. Thank you both. Now, the IKC, of course, you both have probably been to all of them?
Well, I have, because I started it back in 2000, and it's been going on annually for this will be the 18th contiguous year.
Nice. What was the idea behind starting the IKC?
Well, originally it was to bring Kyusho practitioners from around the world into one room so we could train together, we could share ideas. And since then, it's morphed into more of a way to see what the instructors that have come after us are doing, how they're thinking, how they're working, and keep abreast of everything that's going on in our organization.
Gary, how have you been to? You've been to a lot of them as well, I'm assuming.
I would say I've been to most of them. With being at all
2003 was when you joined in, 2002, 2003.
Yeah, I think it was 2003. So I've been to every IKC since 2003 at that point. Yeah, the IKC, being able to meet all the different martial artists who, are circulated around Kyusho and seeing how they think and how they perform. You can learn a lot from a lot of people, and I always enjoy going to the IKCs not only to teach and meet people, but to watch others teach and see what what they're thinking and where their mind is at with Kyusho, because it's always one thing to think from one mind, but when you see it from many other minds, it's pretty valuable.
Yep. I've been myself fairly recently just started going to the IKC. Weimar was my first, and Barcelona last year was my second. And I really enjoyed it for basically the reasons you both just mentioned as well. It's always very, very good to see such a large mix of people. Evan, has the IKC format pretty much remained the same throughout the years, or have there been changes to that?
No, the format's been the same. Each instructor gets a little time on the mat to show what they've been up to over the past year since we met the last time, and to showcase maybe their style, and preferably their style. Like we have people that are in Aikido or Shotokan or Filipino martial arts, and to see how they're working with it, because no one person can know it all. And to see these different aspects, it really is like a mixed martial art venue. All martial artists from all different countries and all different styles and disciplines getting together, but we have the common core of the Kyusho. It's exciting.
Gary, over the years that you've been to the IKC, have you noticed a progression or something that's changed over the years?
I'd say on the format has always been, I think, perfect. That's, one of the strongest parts of it is, it's not so up and down all the time. It's got a strong format to it. I would say over the years and watching all the other instructors who've been around a long time, and especially for me to come over to Europe, I get to see them at their apex of where they're at compared to watching them get from point A to point B in a year's time. I get to see it at point B. And so when you sit back and you watch how the caliber of Kyusho is going, it's very, very impressive. I'd say, you know, I've seen a lot of really good changes in Kyusho and the understanding of the theory and, you know, and people being able to do it. So, yeah, I'd say the skill level has been growing tremendously over the years.
Yeah, I agree.
Evan, are there any standout moments for you? Anything that's been really memorable in the IKCs when thinking back on them?
Now, that's a tough question because every one of them has its own uniqueness to it. Even though they're the same format, you get a different blend of instructors coming together, and you see different martial artists coming together. It's really tough to say there was a standout moment because they've all been standout, in my opinion.
Gary, same question to you.
Yeah, I have to agree with Evan on that. You know, each one of them has their own life to them, and everything stands out. I would say probably for myself, in the profession I'm in, I have liked seeing now that healing has been added to Kyusho International, and we do have a curriculum for that, and we have done some of that through the IKC as well. So I'd say just on that side of it for me, you know, it was neat to see that integration come into play. But really, I'd say all of them have just a spark that, you know, it's hard to encapsulate on each one of them. I think each one of them has a life of their own.
Cool. Could you?
I'd like to add a comment before we get on to the next question, if I would. The standout thing for me, actually going back to what Gary said a while back, is the point B. Okay, we have seen Kyusho grow from all these decades that we've been in it, and we've seen it grow exponentially now because people are getting together more, they're sharing more, and it's just propelling everybody to a different level. So I would imagine that's the most special thing about the IKC is not only seeing these new levels that the people are achieving, but seeing it start to crack a new level.
Mm-hmm.
Could you both briefly outline what you'll be teaching at the IKC? What can people expect to learn when they come and see you?
Gary, you want to go first on that one?
Oh, sure. I like to focus a lot this time around on the curriculum with the KJKS. I think with the curriculum on that and doing the moving techniques and the moving KOs and the breakdowns of some of the deep traditional katas, I think those are fantastic. I've been really utilizing it a lot this year just in my own training. And by using that curriculum, especially when it comes to the white crane and the white crane kata, is actually doing it in a moving scenario compared to doing it in a set scenario has actually changed probably 60% of the bunkai that I've actually thought about for kata in the last 30 years. So there was times where, for example, with breaking down some of the crane moves, when I was trying to do what I originally did by moving, it just never worked, nor was I in the right spot to have it work. It really has taught me how to move where my body needs to be, what the mechanics needs to be, and the accuracy of your pressure point work and your grappling is by far, you know, that's impressed me myself in my own training. So I look forward to playing with it a lot at the IKC this year.
Oh, now you got me excited because now I'm really looking forward to seeing that as well. Evan?
Yeah. For myself, I'm going to work a little bit with karate because there's a lot of karate folks that do come to the IKCs. And one of the biggest enigmas in the martial arts is the kata, okay, and helping people to realize what's within. As example, I'm going to do a move called Marote Uke, which, if I can get this on camera, is this double block or something. And showing people that it's not just the clenched fist that's moving, it's the clenching fist. So looking at something with a yin-yang quality rather than just always the yang of the martial arts. Because every yang movement has a yin component, but nobody studies the yin because they're too impressed with the yang. So I'm going to try and work with that, and also work with some how to get tuite or joint manipulations using, of course, the nerves to work from a more of a live fighting type of an action. We all do the standing things where someone punches in, you grab a hand, you flip the person, and we believe that that's going to work in a real situation. Well, when the sparring or the clinch happens, things fall off the wagon pretty quickly. So I'm going to try and help people see how to bridge that gap.
Brilliant. That sounds really cool as well.
Now, can I add one thing?
Sure.
I had got to watch Evan do what he was talking about. He was down here in March, and that really is what changed me and my way of thinking, because I was watching him just break down Tencho. And watching him break down Tencho and doing it, moving, and watching the grappling and the striking and the elbows, I was kind of like, what the heck? And it totally changed the way I perceived what a kata should look like. So after he left that weekend, I started getting together with my guys, and I said, we're going to do one white crane kata, and we're going to get this down right. And first thing was I told him, I said, let's go ahead and try to get the movements to work that we always did, but we're going to do it moving while you're trying to punch me in the head at the same time. And it didn't really work out so well for me. So I thought, maybe we should be looking at this a little bit differently. So, so I'm going to be doing a lot of the traditional crane katas and stuff like that. And like Evan has said, trying to move and grab somebody and do your tuite and do your kyusho while they're moving as well, that's a whole different ball game compared to just standing there. And that's what my year's been focused on, and it's pretty slick. I've been excited about it.
Is there anything in the upcoming IKC 2018 in Salzburg, 2nd to 4th of November? I've got to get the plug in there somewhere. that you guys are particularly looking forward to?
As always, the people. Getting to see the people and saying hey again after a long year for most of them. We get to travel around and see some people, but not everybody. And this is the one time where a lot of people come in and they get to cross-train together and just talk, friendship. So that's what I'm excited for.
Gary?
Yeah, I have to agree. Going to the IKCs and stuff like that, it's kind of like going to a reunion every year. And you get to find out, what the people have been doing. It's good to see everybody again and just sit down and chat, have a good time and talk and work out together, meet new people, and see what everybody's doing. And, a lot of times I always take a couple things from the IKC and I go home and use them, so I learn just the same as anyone else does. And to me, that's what I look forward to. So I think it's going to be a good time.
Excellent. We're really looking forward to having you over for it, and looking forward to everyone else, of course, that's coming to visit. And I have to say that to me personally, and I know to many of the other instructors and also students in Kyusho International, the two of you have been an amazing inspiration. And you can really tell it rubs off on them by training with you and working with you, and it's this thirst for knowledge and discovery and just moving things forward, and that opens everyone's minds and hearts to the style, to Kyusho, the art, and so really looking forward to seeing you both very soon in Salzburg.
Same here, and we should give a shout out to Max, who couldn't be here with us today on the video. Max is got the rooms all set up for us. He runs a brilliant venue. With Clive helping out, it's going to be even better. You go to most martial arts and they never start for a half an hour late, or the timing's off. But Max runs a tight ship. He's got everything done for your convenience, and it really is a great venue. So Max, thanks. I wish you were here to talk to us, but we'll catch you in November.
Yep, I know Max said to say hi to both of you.
Yeah, hi, Max. Max has always done a really good seminar. When I came out to Salzburg out there, I really had a good time, and he's very efficient about how it's ran, and he's a fantastic host. And yeah, sorry I didn't get to see him tonight, but I'll look forward to seeing him here soon. And thanks a lot for everything he's doing, and thank you for everything you're doing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. One more word, and then I'll quiet down. Max is one of those people that has used Kyusho a lot in real life. Max is in law enforcement. He started as a high security prison guard, and he's used the Kyusho in the prison system. He then transferred to the street side, and he's used it there as well. And now he's in another faction, which I'm not going to mention. And it's the question that most people that aren't in Kyusho always ask is this going to work for real in a situation or a real situation? And I can tell you from all the law enforcement agents, not just Max, that this has worked brilliantly. And Max is just one of those people that has used it. So when you come to the IKC, look him out, ask him some questions and see what happened and how it worked, and to help yourself believe the Kyusho works. We all believe it works. We know it works. We've all had real situations in which we've used it, and it works amazingly well, better than in the dojo. So come and ask that question, because if you're skeptical from all the years of some of these hokey-looking YouTubes that have been out there, you got to come and experience this for real, and to feel it, to see it, to do it, and to talk to those people that have actually used it. So this is a great opportunity for you.
Yep. Just a short little plug for KTCP at this point, maybe. If you want to, do you want to say a few words about the program?
Sure. KTCP is the Kyusho Tactical Control Program, and it was designed for law enforcement and emergency responders, such as the EMTs on the ambulances, the nursing staff and the doctor staff and the ERs, firemen. Believe it or not, some of these emergency medical people that are in the ambulances, it's more dangerous a job than the police officers. The police officers are armed. The EMTs are not. And they get attacked all the time because you have someone that's drugged out. They don't know any better. They're out of control. So the medical professional has to learn to control them without hurting them, because that's the code of ethics they work by. And again, it's worked brilliantly in all those scenarios. And I'm proud to say that now we have instructors in 25 countries, and it's growing. And I know Max, for example, is training people not only in his country, but also in other countries as well. And some of the other guys are too. So it's spreading, and it's really great.
Cool, thank you. While I think of it also, Gary, I just wanted to ask, will you be showing any of the healing aspects as well at the IKC coming up?
Yes, we'll be doing healing sessions. We'll probably be doing those as large group sessions. That way everybody can practice as well. And we'll probably do those. Normally with the IKCs, it always seems like those were always the best at the last session, after everybody just got done beating each other up all day. And so, yeah, my last session will be the healing sides of it, and I'll walk everybody through. Everybody will get to experience the healing session, and everybody will get to give a healing session as partners. And makes you feel better at the end of the day, but also teaches you some stuff on what to do when you need to help somebody who needs a little bit of healing.
I can attest to that. It was always a well-received session at the end of a hard weekend.
Yes, absolutely. Oh, one exciting thing. I know I could blab on forever about this, and I'll just say this one more thing and then curtail myself. I just had a conversation with a medical doctor, and he works emergency rooms, and he works in many different counties. He transfers from hospital to hospital. And he contacted me one day and said, I got to thank you. You helped me save a person's life. And I said, what? Well, what'd I do? Okay, and he said one of your revivals that you came up with for the heart. We do a new, when we're working on the blood systems, we needed a new revival because the old ones weren't quite enough. And he said man was just about to go code, which means just about to pass away. And he was trying everything he could. It wasn't working for him, so he remembered seeing the video. He did the technique, and the guy woke up instantly. So he was nice enough. That's amazing, right? So he was nice enough to contact me and say, hey, this stuff actually works. Now, we know it works, okay, but now medical professionals are saying it as well. So that's great.
Brilliant. Oh, that's a great story. Yeah, it's always good to hear the those kind of confirmations of, like you say, what we know because we're doing it, but that other people are discovering that as well. Right.
Sure.
Thank you both very, very much for the interview this evening, for taking the time to do that. And like I say, I'm very much looking forward to seeing you in November, and Max is as well. And thank you very much.
Well, Clive, thank you for helping out in this situation, bringing the Kyusho seminar or the course, the IKC, to Salzburg, Austria this November. I really appreciate all the work you've done as well.
Yes, thank you very much. That was fantastic. You guys are hosting it. And again, thanks, Max, and thanks, Clive. And I look forward to seeing you guys in November.
Brilliant. Okay, everyone watching, I'm going to post the links down below the video where you can find out all the details for the IKC 2018 in Salzburg, Austria, from the 2nd to the 4th of November. Come along and see for yourself just how great Kyusho can work if you do it right. Okay, thank you very much. See you next time. Bye.